guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you an amazing recipe. This recipe has been suggested like crazy. My suggestion inbox is going completely bonkers. I can't take it anymore, so I'm finally going to show it to you. It is my red velvet cupcake with cream cheese frosting. Alright, so I'm super excited to show it to you. Let's get started. You're going to need some all-purpose flour, some regular granulated sugar, some unsalted butter at room temperature, some unsweetened cocoa, an egg, baking powder, baking soda, salt, buttermilk, vanilla extract, red food coloring. Now these are the ingredients you're going to need to make the actual cupcake, and then a little bit later on I will show you the remaining ingredients to make the cream cheese frosting. Alright, first thing you want to do, preheat your oven to 350, get that ready for you. Second thing you want to do is take your cupcake pan or your muffin pan and line them with little paper liners to ensure that they come out nice and easy. And now we're going to get started to making these beautiful little cupcakes. Now, if you want to, you can just do this in a regular bowl with a whisk and a spatula. I'm just going to use my standing mixture here just to make my life a little bit easier. And in here, I'm going to put in just some unsalted butter. Here we go. And it has to be at room temperature, otherwise it will not cream. And you'll have a complete mess. And the sugar. Close this up. And mix this together until the sugar and the butter have incorporated nicely. And then we'll add in our egg and vanilla. My butter and sugar are creaming together. I'm going to add in my egg and about a teaspoon of vanilla. Pure vanilla extract, not the imitation stuff. Just make sure that it's pure vanilla extract. I'm just going to mix this together for just a second. And while that goes, I'm going to take my flour, my cocoa, which is not very much. I'll explain that later. And my baking powder, baking soda, and sugar, and salt, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to mix this lightly. And here's how it's going to go. What I have here is buttermilk. Now, as you might have noticed, I'm not using any oil in this recipe. And that's because I'm going to get all the moistness in the buttermilk. It ensures that everything comes out moist, delicious, and I don't even have to use any oil. So it's perfect. So I'm going to put half of the dry ingredients in. Put half in. Woo! Probably should lower that. Yeah, that'd be good. And half of the buttermilk. Let those incorporate well. And then you're going to add in the remaining dry ingredients. And the remaining buttermilk. Mix that together until it's just combined. But remember, you don't want to overmix it, because you'll end up with a really tough, dense, kind of almost like a chewy bread type of cake, which we don't want that. We want a beautiful, moist cupcake. So that's perfect. Nice and easy. Everything's blended well. Let me just take my little spatula and get any of the excess off. Just like so. Remove this. Okay. Just give this a nice stir from the bottom up. Perfect. And now the red part comes in. Now, traditionally, in the old days, the red from the red velvet cupcakes came from beet juice. I can't find beet juice, okay? I never could. So you'll see most, red velvet cupcakes just use red food coloring, and that's what I'm going to use. So I can't really give you an amount. It just depends on the kind, the food coloring that you do use. Just start with a little bit, work with it, and then just keep adding to it. Because remember, you can always add it in, you just can't take it away. So just mix this together, adding as much as you need, until you get a really nice deep red color. Just like that. That's absolutely perfect. Now, I'm going to use my handy little ice cream scooper. Gives me perfect size every time. I'm just going to put these right in like so. Look how perfect that is. That's why I always use an ice cream scoop. Now, what is red velvet cupcake? It's a very traditional southern cupcake. It's really a moist vanilla cupcake that's just been kissed by cocoa. Just a touch of cocoa in there, and it's so good. And like I said, traditionally the red comes from beet juice, beet concentrate. But where am I going to get beet concentrate? So we just use, I just use regular food coloring, and it works every time. And you absolutely have to top them with cream cheese frosting. You must. Otherwise, it's not red velvet cupcake. So I'm just going to fill these up and get them ready to go into the oven. I filled my cupcake liners perfectly. Now, just like the blueberries, don't ask me why. This makes 11 cupcakes. I haven't figured out why yet. So these are going to go into your preheated oven, 350 degrees, 15 to 20 minutes or so. You want to check them at the 15-minute mark by taking just a regular toothpick, inserting it into the middle of the cupcake. If it comes out clean with no wet batter on it, you know it's done. If, however, there's still wet batter on it, keep checking it every minute or so because this can go from perfectly cooked to overcooked in a matter of a minute or two. So just keep an eye out on it, okay? My cupcakes baked for about 22 minutes actually. It took a little longer than normal, but they are perfect and I let them cool completely. Otherwise we can't frost them, which we know we need to make that cream cheese frosting to go on top of them. So I'm just going to put these over here and we're going to make the frosting. Now to make the frosting, you're going to need 2 cups of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar or icing sugar, however you call it. You're going to need 4 ounces of room temperature plain cream cheese and some unsalted butter, and it must be a room temperature. And I mean like they got to be on the counter like all day, if not overnight, because if this is not at room temperature, it will not work. You'll have a lumpy, horrible frosting. Now you're going to put in a little bit of vanilla. Okay, I'm just going to close this up, and I'm just going to start this on low. Just going to mix this together. Otherwise, I'll have a facial of powdered sugar. And then once I have the cream cheese and the butter and the powdered sugar combined, I can see how thick it is. Then I'll judge from that how much milk I'm going to use. I normally use about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. You want to just make sure you watch and see the consistency. You want a nice, creamy, velvety consistency. So I'm just going to mix this up until everything is really blended. And then from that, I'll judge how much milk I'm going to put in. So this looks pretty good. I'm just going to scrape it from the sides. I want to make sure everything is incorporated after all. This is a little test. Ooh. Oh. So good. I can eat the entire bowl of just the frosting. It's pretty sad. I'm just going to put in about 1 tablespoon of the milk. Doesn't need more than that. Pop this back down. Whoop. Mix it up. And just mix it until that combines. Alright, we have our beautiful frosting ready. Let me just put this in the sink. It's so embarrassing. It's so good though. Now, oh my gosh, it's so good. What I have here is a disposable piping bag. You can buy these at any supermarket, cake decorating stores, or you can find them online on Amazon.com for like $3 or $4. Super cheap. And I have a large tip with just a nice, just a plain round tip, a large round tip. And I'm just going to take this filling, and I like to cup it in my hand like this, because I'll show you. I like to take the filling, put it right in, and then just use my hand to move it out of the way. Now this filling is extremely rich and sweet, so you don't have to put like a ton of frosting. I don't know why I keep calling it filling, because it's a frosting. You don't have to put a ton of it on your cupcake because otherwise it will completely overpower the cake, which we don't want. We want to enjoy a nice piece of cake with some frosting on top. So, this is what we're going to do. This is how I frost them because anytime I've gone to a bakery and gotten red velvet cupcakes, this is how I was frosted. So, this is how I'm going to do it. Okay. You take it, start from the middle. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Take one, put it here so you can see. Start this. I don't go all the way on the edges. I start right about there and just make a little circle and just do like that. That's it. It's simple. It's plain. There's no decorative thing, anything. They're just very, very simple, but so delicious. Oh, so good. I'm telling you, addictive. You should definitely let these set in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes before you eat them, but I cannot, and I repeat, cannot wait any longer. These are super simple, super plain, super simple, super delicious, but you know what? They're so good. I'm so embarrassing, I know. No words needed. I don't even know what to say. If you're a red velvet cupcake lover, red velvet cake lover, you have found the perfect recipe. It's easy, simple, things you probably already have in your fridge, and it's a no-fail recipe every single time. And I'm telling you, the simple things in life are really the most amazing things in life, and this is another example of it. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. To get this recipe and many other recipes, check out my website at www.laureninthekitchen.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye!